And tonight it's all about the Billionaires Conclave Summit Accra 2024. We just want to have a 40 session, and the theme for the event is building transgenerational wealth and building transgenerational organization. And this event is coming up in February, on Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of February 2024. The venue is the Tang Palace Hotel in Accra, Ghana. It's a 2-day fully residential event for high net worth individuals, executives, and family. This is one of our events under the Billionaires Conclave. And the reason why we are doing this is because when you look at our continent today, you realize that a lot of companies and a lot of organizations do not transied beyond the founder of the business or the organization. We have only few businesses and organizations on the continent that have been able to outlive the founder. And that is why we need to look into how to build transgenerational organizations. The same thing goes for wealth. You find out that many of us on the continent are first generation wealthy people, or we are just second generation wealthy people. Only few families on the continent know what it means to experience and enjoy transgenerational wealth. And those are some of the things we're going to be unveiling during this amazing event. So if you know anyone in Accra, Ghana, or you live in Accra, Ghana, especially those of you that are married, I'm so passionate about the family, I'm so passionate about couples. Let's come and invest in personal development, and let's come spend 2 days together. And it's going to be amazing. So even if you are not in Ghana, if you are in any of the neighboring countries, if you are in Nigeria, you want to come to Ghana, you are in Côte d'Ivoire, you are in Benin, you are in Niger, wherever you are, you can come. It's 2 days fully residential. And joining me tonight will be one of our speakers, and she's going to be talking to us on women and wealth creation. She's an amazing and phenomenal speaker, and it's an honor for us to have her be a part of the lineup. And also joining me tonight will be one of the event organizers that is helping to ensure that everything goes well on ground. That will be Dime. So let me bring in, let's see. Okay. And then we can take it from there. So I hope you have your notes and your pen ready, because when she begins to speak, wisdom begins to flow. So let's ensure that we are ready. Hello, 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 my sister.
Hello, 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 my brother. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Where in the world are you? This you're traveling. I thought I was a traveler. I said, it seems as if you have won the award, though.
Actually, I thought you were the one who was always traveling. But I must say that I am in Accra today.
Okay.
So that's this thing, because usually I would be somewhere else. But today I'm in Accra, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to serve your audience. I'm excited to serve my audience. I've seen some of my people, some of my followers already online.
Yes, so
I'm really
everybody.
excited. I'm really excited. So I'm also sending messages for them to bring everybody in.
Yes,
and let's have a great time.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Very much.
How are you?
Let me begin by thanking you for accepting to be a part of this, because when a lot of people over the years have been saying, oh, you keep doing things in Nigeria, in different parts of the world, you have not done anything in Ghana. I say, it's not that I don't want to do the Ghana. Hey, I don't know that these things are expensive. They are for high net worth individuals. But I said, okay, let's do it 2024. And when I was thinking of the best person to bring on board to join me, you were the first person that came to my mind. I said, look, I need to get my sister on board. So thank you very much for making the sacrifice to be a part of this. And thank you for all that you do. You are an inspiration, not only to the nation, but to the continent. And we appreciate you for all your parts in training, in mentorship, in coaching, and in helping to raise people in the marketplace. So thank you very much. And you're welcome to this wonderful time together.
Thank you so much, sir. And I would say that it's a privilege and an honor. Thank you, sir, for thinking about me in this way. I'm very humbled, and it will be a joy to serve. when we think of, you know, people like you, we think of the changes and the transformations they've done in people's lives. And I can definitely say that you are making serious impact. So it will be an honor to serve with you, sir. And welcome to Ghana for the first time.
Yes, so
for that, and we are looking forward to 2024, February.
Yes, so thank you. So we want to look at this event, and when I started planning the event, I spoke to a few people about my plan, and they were like, Ghana, hey, are you sure? Are you that one you are charging $10,000 in Nigeria and people are paying you? This is Ghana. I said, but people need this information. This is an executive meeting. Are you telling me you don't? I don't believe. I believe there are people that need this. We just need to reach them. And so I want us to start from that angle. Since you are in the field, you are in the marketplace, what is your thinking? How important is an event like this for people?
For me,
let's start.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the question, sir. And like you said, anywhere else in the world, I mean, Nigeria is Nigeria when you're having the program, but Ghana is also Ghana. You know, one of the things about Ghanaians is culturally, we don't express as much as you would find probably in anywhere else. You know, Ghanaians are more hospitable. We take things in more than we do things. I mean, now over the years, we're becoming a lot more open, but Ghanaians are known for humility and hospitality, as you know. And over the years, whether it's business people, whether entrepreneurs, whether head of corporations, and you mentioned you are passionate about family, you are passionate, these values are all carried in Ghana. And one of the things I can also assure you is that there are Ghanaians who want to learn. There are Ghanaians who want to change their situation. There are Ghanaians who want to transform and get better. There are those who are in what the three categories I basically talk about entrepreneurs. There's entry-level people who already have it. Some people even have gotten it from an inheritance. They just don't know the steps to take. They'll be good. They are the emerging people who, like you said, family business that are rising. A new level of business ideas have flocked into Ghana in recent years. And these people would want to learn, how do we get better at building wealth? And then you have the established entrepreneurs. And one of the things you've said, and I think what you've said has plagued Africa as a continent for a long time, but you're seeing a lot of progress in that area. Many, many years ago, we had a lot of family-owned businesses in Ghana, you know, where family names were on it. But then, and I'm sure it happened in Nigeria too, it happened in East and West, where these things were not carried along. As soon as the generation passes, maybe one more generation, but then that is where it ends. And then the name even goes away. As soon as you bring it, oh, I used to remember this. In Ghana, there are so many examples, and people talk about them all the time, you know, from legal to manufacturing to established product businesses. What we used to enjoy as children in the 70s, I mean, you don't see them around anymore. And we talk about that, but we've also seen a new trend where people are establishing businesses that are continuing to the next generation. Wow. The main thing you want to, and that is why I have a lot of hope, because I know that this is very possible, and I've seen progress in different countries, even such as Nigeria, and I believe that you are one of the people making a difference, because those who are pouring into people are basically seeing the progress of what they are pouring into people, and people are putting the structures in place to take them for generations and generations. And I believe Ghana is ripe. I believe Ghana is ready. I believe that there are people in Ghana who definitely want to invest their time, their energy, their money to actually come to this program to take their businesses, their lives, to go transgenerational as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And that, I'm like I said, I'm really very passionate about the family, because one of the things we're beginning to see is that a lot of people, many of us grew up in poverty. Many of us grew up with, you know, middle-class family, and we saw our parents struggling to raise us. And then we started imagining, and we said, "No, I don't want my children to suffer what I've suffered. I don't want my children to go to what I've done." So we send our children abroad. And what's beginning to become a reality now is a lot of these children have gone abroad. They don't want to return.
Absolutely.
So you have a lot of families that have done amazingly well. The businesses they started to send the children abroad, they are now in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, and like, who do I hand over to? And that's why one of the things we're also going to be dealing with in this event is estate and inheritance planning. Absolutely. Because a lot of people don't know that all the old school thinking of, oh, I want to have an inheritance handover to my children, those days are gone. Then you can put you can do estate planning and put your company and everything in the trust will manage it. And so all those are some things we're going to be sharing. We have an entire masterclass on that. And that we're going to be having the session that you'll be taking on women and wealth creation. So I think I want us to zero in into that. So those of you listening to us, we are talking about the Billionaires Conclave Summit 2024 that will be coming up on Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of February at the Tank Palace Hotel in Accra, Ghana. The theme is building transgenerational wealth and organization, and the phone numbers on the screen are for you to copy so that you can call to register and then ask questions or get clarification. Dime, if you're around, let me know so that I can bring you aboard. So you are going to be talking about women and wealth creation. So let's zero into that. I've said over and over again that wealth is not sexually transmitted and marriage is not economic empowerment, because a lot of women in Africa, they are brought up to look up to the man, to depend on the man. Oh, just make sure marriage. So let's send the boy to school. Let's not send the woman to school. She's going to get married. She's going to have somebody else's name. And so you end up having a lot of women grow up not maximizing their possibilities, not developing their potentials. And then they get married looking up to the man. And then we have a lot of abusive men that have now taken advantage of this vulnerability, and they've messed up the destinies of women. So you have women in abusive marriages, women that are just hanging in there because they are not empowered. They don't have any other option, and we need to change that narrative. But something else is now happening. We are now training our daughters. Oh, my daughter, no man will take you, no man will mess you up. And then we now have strong women and weak men. So we are now having a lot of women that are now getting married, and they are the one carrying the load, and the guys are just there doing nothing and just doing fine boy. So a lot needs to change. So I would like you to give us a foretaste. Don't tell them everything, or just a foretaste. What should we be expecting in your session on women and wealth creation? You are a woman that has been able to do amazingly well. So share some things with us.
I love the two extremes that you gave. After you gave it, then you said the man is going to be fine boy, the woman has become strong. Because that's a great one. But what I'm going to be talking about is going to actually move from mindset to action. So I'm going to take them from the continuum of the mindset you need to have as a woman who wants to build wealth in pillars. And today, one of the things I shared on my Instagram page was the fact that I was raised, so I have experienced this concept of transgenerational wealth. And that is why I'm able to talk about it because I had a grandmother. So this is not my mother, but my mother's mother. She was originally married, then she became a single mother. And one thing she always tells, and people used to come to her, I mean, she was able to build from nothing. And that is how I learned entrepreneurship. People tell me that, am I born or I'm made? I said, maybe a little bit both. But by the time I was 12 years old, I was already doing, I know Nigeria also have a Piccadilly Biscuits. She was a Piccadilly Biscuits distributor. She was trading, she was selling this. But it's how the mindset she had to do business and how she built it and was able to build an empire that the women in the family basically began to admire and left a legacy for us and passed on the inheritance, which we also have been able to start other people on that journey. So I've actually seen it happen in generations in my family. And this is my mother's mother, you know, who I grew up with. So I didn't grow up directly with my mother. I grew up with my grandmother. So I was very domesticated, disciplined. And number one thing, I watched people come to her for advice on money. And she would tell you, listen, when I first started, I wasn't even, let me call it a literate. I was semi-literate. I was raised as a domestic help, but I taught myself. So one of the main things I want to tell people is that a lot of people think, okay, education equals empowerment. But I first have to start is confidence equals empowerment, because you have to have the confidence to even want to educate yourself. She had to believe that she could get the results, because she couldn't even speak a word of English. So confidence equals empowerment. And that's one thing I want to put in, because I always say that there are certain fundamental skills. You talk about strong women. It's not about being over strong. It's not about being aggressive. It's not about being arrogant. Confidence is actually humility in action. Yeah. That is how I see it. So it's humility, but you have been able to exude it in a way where you bring action. So confidence is about the things you build over time. So what she did was she educated herself. She realized, listen, what if I want to build a certain level of skills to be able to make wealth, what would they be? She said, I have to learn a language. She learned how to speak English because she knew that she had to walk into places. Then from there, she said, I have to learn basic bookkeeping. So how do I have bookkeeping so that I can? So those two things were on her mind, and she trained herself. She had the confidence to believe that she can do it. And so learning is one of the fundamental keys. Knowledge, confidence is knowledge. Knowledge is driven, and you drive from knowledge to empowerment. Wow. So it is actually what you drive on. It's like a route that you take to empower yourself. Very humble woman, but very, very focused. So that was the one thing I asked her, how did you start? And then she gave me that. She said, I had to build my confidence, but to do that, I had to gain knowledge. And then I started the journey. So the first thing I'm going to help women to understand is there's a mindset. And that mindset is developing the skills, the first skill set, which is confidence. That's one thing I'm going to talk about. And once you get that skill set, it moves you straight into a place of competence. So your competence is having that ability to understand what is coming in and what is going out. And I always tell people, what you do when you don't have, okay, is the same thing you will do when you have. Yeah. There's actually a proverb in Ghana that says that, in a language that is said, what you do when you don't have is the same behavior you are going to show when you have. So your habits, your habits of money, your habits of the skill of being able to know just the in and out of your money, where it is, where it's coming from, where it's going, where it's passing, actually would determine how you would do when you are rich. Your attitude when you are poor doesn't change to when you are rich. The big thing about you is that when you are poor and you become rich, your mindset becomes money. No, but your mindset should be value. Yeah. Very different. So money is something you can spend. Value is something you can earn, and value is something you can give. So you earn value. So the competency of value is also very important. Wow. And a lot of the reason why I'm saying this is that the research shows that when it comes to these two things, unfortunately, and it's the truth, men are ahead of women. When it comes, I mean, research has now stated that when you go into a place, when a woman is 70% ready, even 90%, even 95%, she'll say she's not ready. She wants to get to 150% before she'll say it's ready. But put a man there who is 50% ready. You say, yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
So that mindset is that is what you are talking about women. So when you put the two people together, the man and the woman must also be able to have the learnings, the competency from her husband, because she also has to watch and learn. Because at 90 or 95%, how can you say I'm not ready? You take it, the opportunity, and build yourself to be ready. A man will not be even 60% before he will start raising his hand. He's not even ready. He will just go accept it, then you go and prepare. Sometimes a woman doesn't have to do it that aggressively, but can take opportunity at the right time. So that's one thing. So you build the competency yourself, but you also learn the competency from your spouse, from family members, from people around you. There's something of learning by observation. Women, to transfer things from generation, I had to watch what my grandmother did, ask questions, and I also brought it into my life. So yes, I made a lot of mistakes in my time. I had business rise, I had business failure, but as soon as I recognized that that is the way to go, competency was this, I started to learn, and that is how I built. So my story comes from the fact that I realized that when the time, you don't have to be 100% ready to raise your hand, because the world is waiting to give it to you, but you have to extend your hand to receive it. And you have to give that value. So these are some of the things I'm going to bring up. And once you make that value is now money to you. Because the value you have as a woman is the money you can earn. A lot of times we don't message our value. We have the value, it's in us, but we don't send the message that the value is here. By the way we price, even as businesses, the value, they always say the price that you put on yourself is exactly what people will buy. Once again, when it comes to family, you would see that the family, there'll be argument back and forth. The man knows his wife's worth. If you find a good man, he knows the worth of his wife. He will support her if there's a good man and help her to build that value. But what about a woman who doesn't have that? She doesn't have that. She must know her value. So you have to think, when I talk about value, I look at things like pricing. I look at things like organizing. I look at things like branding, how you message. All of that fit into value. So as soon as somebody sees that value, they pay for it. I remember when I had my business and I set it up, I looked at the branding, I looked at the value we're delivering. And sometimes somebody will look at my business and say they drive by, they see the company. The reason why sometimes they don't stop is that in their mind, when you go into this company, you have to pay US dollars. So people will call me and say, hey, I saw your building, but you know, I want to go in there. I just want to ask you first, am I going to pay dollars? Let me say it in Nigerian language, dollars. They say, am I going to pay dollars? Then I tell them, no, we charge Ghana city over here. They say, no. If I see this building, inside I enter, I'm sure I'll not pay less than $500 to do a service. How did it happen? It was because of the positioning, because of the value, because of the messaging. So already, because people have that perception, when they come to you, they expect, so you will see that anybody who walks in there with confidence, because they know that they have the money to pay that value. Then you build the pillars of putting that money to good use. Like you said, empowerment cannot be, what you call it, not be sexually transmitted, meaning that you have to take action with your money. You cannot leave your money on the table and expect it to grow by itself. You cannot leave your business as it is and expect it to grow by itself. You cannot leave what you're doing. You have to keep building. You have to keep building. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be amazing in 2024. What I'm going to teach is going to be mind-blowing, sir. Wow. I'm going to show them step by step by step. The journey I saw people take, the journey I took, the journey I coach people today to take, and where they are. And these people are going to see people who have realistically built wealth based on these tools and these skills that I've given. So, sir, I'm looking forward to 2024.
Wow.
Women build wealth by confidence, by competence, by value. And that is the way to do it. And I want to teach them that.
Wow. In fact, the class has started. This is amazing. I know as you were just speaking, most of the time I try to help people understand that a lot of things that they are looking for is in the Bible, is in the good book. You know, when you were talking about the way you handle things in poverty, the way you handle things, the Bible have said it. If you are faithful in little, you will be faithful in much. If you are unfaithful in little, you'll be unfaithful in much. And when you were talking about the fact that women may be 95% ready, they say they are not ready, they want to be 150, the Bible have said it. If you wait for perfect condition, if you wait for favorable weather, you will not get anything done.
Absolutely.
And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving on regardless of your fear. Absolutely. And you said something amazing about the fact that confidence is not arrogance, it's not aggression, it is, you know, humility in action. We're going to have to unpack that, because we need to go into we need to go into an area on that one. So let me just speak to our people. If you are listening to us right now, my name is Olumide Emmanuel, and joining me is my beautiful, wonderful, amazing sister Dzigbordi, and she's going to be joining me as one of the speakers for the event. The event is the Billionaires Conclave Summit, Accra, Ghana, and the theme is Building Transgenerational Wealth and Transgenerational Organization. The date is Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of February 2024. The venue is the Tan Palace in Accra, Ghana. You can call those numbers. And now let me talk to you about the price.
Absolutely.
Now, this event is fully residential. Fully residential. So that means when you come in on Thursday morning, you're going to be checking out on Saturday. So the whole of Thursday, the whole of Friday, we're going to be together. We have different sessions. She's going to be taking Women and Wealth Creation Masterclass. We have one of my very, very good friends and an amazing speaker that will be coming to talk to us about estate and inheritance planning, but we cannot mention his name because, you know, most of these chief justice, chief judge, they don't need, so we are just going to keep him as a shadow, but he's going to be there to talk to us about estate and inheritance planning masterclass. And I'm going to be taking us on building transgenerational wealth and building transgenerational organization, and it's just $3,000 only. And now this $3,000 covers for the hotel accommodation, it covers for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner buffet, it covers for the conference materials, it covers for the masterclass session. And guess what? Once we're through with the event, I'm also going to be giving you a 90 days mentorship. So there's going to be a 90 days post-event mentorship, which means after we are done, I will be available to help guide you in the implementation of some of the action points that will come out of this event, all for a token fee of $3,000. So if you know anyone, individuals, families, let them come and be a part of this event. But there are a few very important opportunities that I want to share with you tonight. Number one, if you register between now and 31st of December, we are giving you a 30% discount. So there's a 30% discount for those that register and pay between now and the 31st of December. So instead of $3,000, you pay $2,100. Number two, if you are married, you are coming as a couple. Because I'm so passionate about the family, if you are coming in as a couple, one person will pay full price, the other person will pay 50%. What does that mean? If you are paying $3,000, your spouse will pay $1,500. So that will be $4,500 for a couple. If you are paying at $2,100, your spouse will pay 50% of that. And all this money we cover for the conference materials, hotel accommodation, group coaching session, masterclass session, and the 3 months post-event mentorship that I'm throwing in for you. During the summit, I'm going to be sharing with you on building transgenerational wealth. And under that, I'm going to be talking to you about developing a transgenerational mindset, 7 major reasons why organizations stop growing, 20 reasons why businesses fail, 7 warning signals to note, failing forward to avoid bankruptcy, 20 secrets to building an enduring organization. And we're going to look at case studies of companies in Africa and in the West that have transited beyond 100 years and what they have done. Then I'm going to be taking you on building transgenerational organization and building transgenerational wealth. We're going to be looking at developing a wealth mentality, understanding true wealth, components of true wealth, the wealth code, and then vital security factors. And we're also going to be taking case studies. So it's an amazing opportunity. So call the number on the screen right now and register. Even if you don't have all the money, register and just make a deposit to say, okay, this is $500. Let me put this on ground to show you I'm serious. And then you can pay instrumentally between now and February. 2024 is a leap year. And you need to take a giant leap and take your life serious, because no one will plan your life for you without your direct involvement. So my sister, you said something about the fact that confidence is not arrogance, it's not aggression. Confidence is humility in action. One of the things we have seen is the challenge that a lot of women have with handling power and handling wealth. So you find out that I keep saying to a woman, I say, look, yes, you're rich, yes, you are an executive, but listen, you need to separate family from the marketplace. When you are a chief judge, you are a CEO, you are a senator, that is in your office. When you come home, you are a wife.
Absolutely.
When you come home, you are a mother. Absolutely. All this negative masculine energy, there cannot be two men in the house. You are a woman. Release the feminine energy. Let the man feel you. So, but when you were talking, I said, wow, these are they. So why, let's talk to women about that, because I don't know why that is. But a lot of women seem to not know how to handle that. So you end up seeing a lot of strong women being divorced, ending up as single parent, not being able to keep the family, just because they don't know that, look, yes, you're strong, you are rich, but when you come home, you don't bring masculine energy. There cannot be two men in the house. So let's speak to that.
There's a difference between money and mindset. So I always say that, so when the whole idea of the thing is that when women look at the idea of money drives, there is, I have my bank account is full, I have investments, I have cars, I have, those are what we call material money. And then you have mindset as money. I call it mindset money. So you have material money. Material money drives you to think externally. So everything that is external, you want to show externally also. That is why I used, there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. And I did that on purpose, because material money makes you arrogant. Okay, mindset money makes you confident. So mindset is, I know that this is who I am. I have built this wealth based on work, based on, the corporate place that I sit on. But I know my compartments. One of the things that I talk about a lot, and one of the things I share on stage a lot, is that there's a big difference between, people talk a lot about work-life balance. I call it work-life presence, meaning that there are places where when you become present, you drop everything. And that, one of those places is your family. One of those places is with your husband, is with your child, is with your spiritual place of worship, is with your church. So when it comes to ministry, when it comes to family, when it comes to children, you focus on presence. So let me give you a typical example. A lot of us try to do multiple things. So what I call, we are switch tasking or back tasking. You have your child who probably needs you. And as a businesswoman who had been running for many years as an investment banker, before I became an entrepreneur, before I went into consulting, I understand this very well. I've been in the corporate workplace for 29 years. I'm going on 30 years, since 1994. So one of the things that I understand about this is that when you're very busy, you have a family, you can be trying to do two things. That's trying to balance it. Your child needs you to do the homework. They need you to have a conversation because they are in college. But what you are doing is, okay, yes, you are doing this. But imagine that you stop what you are doing and give 30 minutes of unparalleled attention. That child would build the value in themselves because they know that every time it's about them, you focus. Yeah. You come home, there's a conversation going on. You decide that I want to give my husband 1 hour. You give him the 1 hour. Even in my case, my late husband, he will tell you to go and work after you've given him that 1 hour. He will, I know you have a presentation tomorrow. Is there anything I can do to help? It is because you've given him, you've been present. But what we try to do is to be balanced. You cannot balance your family. There's nothing that you can say, I'm balancing my family. No. When it comes to my family, my presence is needed. So I need to be present. When it comes to God, my presence is needed. So I need to be present. When it comes to my child, so that is that humility that enables you to understand that your presence is important to the places where it's important. Materially, the people who are even looking at you and giving you all that accolades, they don't care about your presence. Because once you leave their presence, the conversation is different. So think of where you are most valued and give the most value. So wherever you are valued, you put your presence there. And the place where you are valued is home. So that's the first thing I tell everyone. Service, giving service is giving value to the place that serves you. My home serves me. My husband is who I serve in my home. My child is who I serve. So once you have that mindset, doesn't matter what it is, it's money mindset. So the money is here, the money is here, the money is in my heart. But when it comes to the places I want to be served, I serve first. So that key is one of the things that I always teach women. When I'm coaching them, when I'm in sessions, we talk about this work-life balance. You cannot balance family. You cannot balance. People talk about it a lot. They use the word. I said, what is balance? Balance is trying to do to one bomb is one will take over the other. There's no way you can create, even if you're an acrobat, and attention goes somewhere before it goes somewhere. Watch people who try and stay in balance. They have to give something to get into that state of balance. And so you cannot do that with your work versus your life. So be present. Even if you are present for a shorter time, you get more value out of it than being balanced for a longer time. You can, for 4 hours, you can be talking to your child and nothing has happened. For 30 minutes, you can have that conversation and it's gone. So those are the things we have to think about. And that is where humility in action plays a role. So when you are home, that presence, that place of service is where you are humble. And that same place is where you are honored. And that same place is where you are supported. And that same place is where you get your confidence. So when you give those things, your confidence shines. I used to go places and my husband would be standing behind me and then you say, my name is Mr. Dzigbordi. This is, and he knows. So because you have given what you have to give at home, so when it comes to the public place, he also gives what he has to give to you. So I think it is the mindset of I have money so I can do what I want versus I have money so I can serve as much as I want.
Wow.
There's a big difference. The more you think service of money, that is how, and that's why you were saying something about how to even use your money. Money must be used in service of your business, in service of others, in service, and that is the way. So even what you are storing as money, I call it service. When you are storing money to build, for money to make money for you, it's service. Because you don't serve money, money serves you.
Yeah.
So that is service. That is why I talked about value. So that is how you build. So that's a key part, sir, about how we need to handle the difference between confidence and put your place where you are serving. That is where you will grow. Where you are doing, that is where you will deteriorate.
Wow. That's amazing. So are you seeing the reason why you need to register and join me for this event? Accra 2024. So the Billionaires Conclave Summit theme is building transgenerational wealth and building transgenerational organization. The date is Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of February 2024. The venue is the Tank Palace in Accra, and we've given you the discount offer. There's a 30% discount offer right now if you register now and make your payment between now and the 31st of December. And you can even do that instrumentally, just make a deposit and establish your commitment. And if you are married, you're coming as a family. Family is important. And it's better when you come to learn together as husband and wife. Then one person will pay full price, the other person will pay 50%. So call the numbers on the screen, contact us, and let's take you through that next level that you need to operate in. Now, I want us to talk about how important is it to invest in personal development? Because one of the things I've realized is that a lot of people don't have respect for intellectual properties. They want everything free. And I keep saying, if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. I had an event we had an event here in Nigeria. It was a 1 week event. It was $10,000. We had people from all over the world, and people came, and they were the one begging that I said, Shebi, you are paid. There's no refund. You are here. But if you do a free meeting, I've been doing free meetings all my life because I'm a pastor. So we do. But you see that people's life don't change at the end of the day because they get it free. They think, but when they pay, and many people don't know how important. I don't know. When they see you, they think you just fell down from heaven. They don't know that you have invested in books, in seminars, in all kinds. So I would like you to speak to people about the importance of investing in their personal development and the reason why they should invest in a meeting like this.
And I want to start by saying that this amazing discount you have given, I want to encourage everybody who is listening to my voice to really consider this as a key. 30% off is an amazing discount. And this timing is when you have to already start thinking. I always tell my people that there is nothing like necessarily a new year. Every time is your new year. But the biggest milestone you have is when you are rounding off a year and you know that this particular next 12 months, you want to make a change. You want to see a complete difference. You want to see what we call a turnaround. People call it transformation. You have to evolve. And you know, I'm sure you're listening to us now, and you know without a shadow of a doubt, you know there's somebody who needs this. You know there's somebody around you. You know yourself. You need a turnaround. You need 2024 to be different. You need the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter to be different. And you are listening now. This is the time to make a decision because the year is winding down and you're asking yourself, how has this year been? For some of us, you are already reflecting because you've done, this is your 11th month and you are reflecting on the year and you're saying January came, February came, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. I didn't move the needle as much. Or maybe I did it, but in a very small, I need to move the needle this time so that by the time half year 2024 comes, I'll be at my next level. And I'll be positioned in a way where I have so much buffer that nothing can get to me because I have built myself around my skills, my competencies, my confidence in money mindset. If you know this and look at the wealth of knowledge you are going to get in a 2-day period, don't let these 2 days come. So if you are listening and you know somebody who needs this, please let them rush because 30% is a big amount. You know a family that needs this. You know a business in Ghana, anywhere that can come within West Africa, within Africa who wants to fly down. Residential arrangements have been made. This is the time, these last 2 months. And I always say December is what we call a silly month. It comes and goes like that because after the first 2 weeks, the month has ended. So you need to start thinking now that within the next 6 weeks, what decision can I make to change my 2024? This will be one of the best decisions you've made. Let me talk about personal development because I'm passionate about it. It is an area. One of the things I've understood is that once again, I'll go to the research. It states that out of the 100% of success in life, 15% is attributed to your IQ. We all know that. The other 85% is attributed to all your other cues, your emotional quotient, your people quotient, your social quotient. So your IQ cannot operate on its own. It means that your IQ needs 85% of other quotients to come take you to a place of success. So I ask you now, what quotients have you leveraged to make your next big billionaire money? What quotient? Have you only leveraged your IQ? If you've leveraged your IQ, you need your EQ. You need your emotional quotient. You need your people quotient. You need your social quotient. You need your physical quotient. You need your spiritual quotient. All these quotients make the sum of you that leads you to success. One of the fundamentals of how you make business is connections, is relationships. And that is one skill I'm going to talk about. When I talk about confidence, it leads to connections. When you can ask decisively for what you want, it means that you have mastered people quotient. You know how to read people and be able to ask for what you want and get what you want. The way people move from one end to the other is fundamentally based on influence. Your level of influence is based on your level of personal development. And your level of personal development is based on the level of success. And your level of success is based on the confidence you have to make the connections you need to liberate yourself from poverty. So you need to understand that you need the sum of who you are. So it's good to have your intellectual quotient, but I work with a lot of professors. I work with a lot of people with doctorates. I work with a lot of people all over the world. My clients are all over the world. And I can assure you, their IQ is 150, 200%. I work with scientists, but they tell me, I have all this knowledge. I have a PhD, I have this, but sometimes I cannot communicate. Sometimes I cannot connect. Sometimes I don't even understand because people see me and I look strange. How can you help me? And I help these people to bring these quotients together so that when they walk in as a PhD, they can communicate, they can connect, they can be influential, they can build relationships, and they can succeed. That is what you need in the coming year. Ask yourself, which quotients do I have? Which quotients am I missing? In 2024, how do I want to build my wealth? You need the sum of your quotients to get to success. That will bring you transgenerational wealth. Wealth you can live year after year after year. Transgenerational organizations that you can build. And that is what my brother is bringing to Ghana. Do not take that chance and miss this opportunity to build yourself. Personal development is not just an opportunity, it's an investment to take you to your next level. That is what it is.
Wow.
You want influence, personal development is the way to go.
Wow, that is amazing. If you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance.
Absolutely.
If you think, oh, this is expensive, think of what you are going to lose if you don't know what you are supposed to know. And I believe very strongly that everyone listening to us right now needs to take advantage of this. So it's building transgenerational wealth and transgenerational organization. The date again is Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of February 2024. It's 2 days, it's fully residential. The venue is the Tank Palace Hotel in Accra, Ghana, and it's just $3,000 only. And we're giving a 30% discount to those who register now and make deposits between now and the 31st of December. The money will cover for the conference material, hotel accommodation, breakfast, lunch and dinner buffet, group coaching session, masterclass session, and then there's going to be a 3 months post-event mentorship that I'm putting in to mentor you, to help you implement some of the things that you're going to be learning. So you cannot afford to miss this. And then a lot of people are asking, you know, people have asked, oh, what if I live in Accra? What if I live in Ghana? I don't want to stay in the hotel. I want to just come during the day. Now listen, one of the uniqueness of a meeting like this is networking. When you come to a meeting like this, you are meeting like-minded people. You are not rushing to traffic, rushing to go back home. You are sitting there, you abandon everything and just come and spend 2 days. We've done this over and over again all over the world. And many times people say, oh, thank God it's fully residential. I can't imagine having to start going home now and waking up the next morning. So you need to do this for yourself. Because many times you executives, you are so busy running the business that you end up being locked up in the business. Sometimes you need to take yourself out of the business so that you can look at the business from the eyes of an outsider and see a lot of things that you will not see when you have the blind spot of function, and you're not seeing things. So you need to take advantage of this. However, if you insist that you would like to just do the non-residential version, so what we're going to do is that for non-residential delegates, then we will do it for you at $1,500. $1,500 for non-residential delegates. What that means is there will be no hotel accommodation and there will be no dinner, but you get every other thing. So with $1,500, you can do that. So if you're interested in that, contact us and let's make room for you to come and join us. And like I've said, this event is an event you cannot afford to miss. So my sister, I need to release you. Thank you. I've taken a lot of your time already. So just give us your final word before you go.
My final word is simple, my brother, that this is an opportunity. This is something that has been handed to you to be able to change your wealth life, to be able to change how you look at money, to be able to change how you build going forward. I don't think you should take this for granted at all. One of the things that my brother just said, which I'm passionate about, I talk about relationships, is network. You know, your network is your net worth. People say it all the time, and it's actually true. Because if you look at the 5 people around you, look around you very well, and you will realize that if anyone has a wealthy mindset, if anyone has what I call a money mindset, it will rub off on you. You cannot escape that. It is like you've been put in a sea, and you get up and you say that you don't have salt water on you, or you've been dipped in an ocean and you come back and you say this. No matter what it is, as long as you have that net worth, this is a place you will find people who are like-minded. And one of the things my brother also said is mentorship. It's not something you can get. It's getting that mentorship ongoing, so you can consistently look. By 3 months' time, you see your difference. So my message to all of us is personal development is what gives you influence. Influence is what will help you build your wealth. Confidence comes by your connections and your competence. Don't miss this opportunity to come and learn from us. We would give you, I will share real life experiences. I'll take you on the journey. I'll make it action and practical. And you have materials that you work with that you can actually go. This is coaching session in a masterclass. Full-blown coaching session. How we do our coaching session that is tens and thousands of dollars. We are coming in to give you that same experience. The coaching experience that people pay large amounts of money for, and you don't find it averagely. It's coaching that the C-suite people get, and it changes them. Top level people all over the world. That is what I do as a living. And I can tell you that I'm bringing that experience to you for my brother's sake. I'm bringing it to you at his amount, at what he is calling it for. I would never give that at anybody. Everybody knows that when you come for one-to-one coaching or group coaching from me, the minimum you have to pay is over tens of thousands of dollars to be able to get my coaching. So if I'm bringing that to you for a fraction of that amount, and even before the end of the year, you are getting it for even less, then it tells you that you need to be there, you need to invest, and you need to see the difference and the transformation in 2024.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my sister. I appreciate you. So we'll stay in touch and inform people in your network. Let them also take advantage of the opportunity, the discount, and the non-residential. I will take you from there. Let me release you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless you.
So everyone, if you are listening to me right now, take the numbers on the screen. Those numbers are very, very important for you. And I would like you to ensure that you take advantage of this opportunity. So the numbers on the screen are there. You can call those numbers. You can send a message to those numbers and register, because it's an amazing opportunity for you. The date again is Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of February 2024. The venue is Tank Palace Hotel in Accra, and the fee is $3,000 only. But we're doing a 30% discount for those who register and make payment between now and the 31st of December. Even if you don't have the complete payment, just register and make a deposit of at least $500, and then we'll know you're serious, and then you can make the balance up in January. Now, if you are listening to us also, you are married, then we have also given an opportunity for couples to be able to have further discounts. So the one person will pay full price, the other person will pay 50%. So if somebody is paying $3,000, the other person is paying $1,500. Somebody is paying $2,100, the other person is paying 50% of that, so that couples can come and learn together. And I'm telling you, this event is an event you cannot afford to miss. A lot of people be saying, oh, you don't come to Ghana to do this kind of event. Now I'm coming. This is your opportunity, because I believe very strongly that we need to build transgenerational wealth and transgenerational organization on the continent. Enough of generational curses. Let's start talking generational wealth. So I look forward to seeing you. Please copy those numbers. I'm going to save this video on IGTV, and I'm also going to put it on my YouTube channel, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel on YouTube, so that you can listen to it. She brought in some amazing stuff. In fact, today alone is a masterclass. So make sure you go to the channel, you watch the video over and over again. Those of you that are just joining us, just go to IGTV, go to my YouTube channel. You're going to see the video so that you can watch it, share the video, let people listen, send it to people you feel need to be a part of this event, and then you'll be glad you did. So I wish you well, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the event in 2024. So I think it's safe to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. God bless you all, and bye for now. Please copy those numbers now.